Monday morning came knocking like trouble in hard shoes. I said, Lord, if that's the landlord, tell him I moved. Then I heard him laughing. That scared me worse. I came home Monday with my hat in my hand, 3 months behind and no decent plan. Landlord on the porch with a grin too wide. Usually that man looked like somebody died. I said, Mister, don't throw my mattress in the street. He said, Samson, boy, your account complete. I checked the window, checked under the chair, thought maybe poverty done poisoned the air. He pulled 3 receipts from his Sunday coat, said some quiet gentleman paid every note. I said, what gentleman? He said, couldn't say. Black hat, black car, came just before day. Devil paid my rent on Monday morning. Landlord smiled like a baby born. Preacher said, son, that money ain't clean. I said, neither is this room you ain't seen. Devil paid my rent, Lord mercy me. He even fixed the lock and paid month 3 of hell. Got a housing plan working this well. Somebody been lying about the service in the hill. I walked to Reverend Johnson after 10:30. Said, preacher, I need spiritual counsel again. He said, son, evil comes dressed mighty neat. I said, then evil got better shoes than my feet. He said, dirty money brings sorrow and shame. I said, so does sleeping outdoors in the rain. He opened that Bible, started quoting from Luke, while I watched gold cufflinks shining on his suit. I said, Reverend, before you condemn my relief, who paid for that Buick parked underneath? He coughed 3 times and adjusted his tie. Said, some blessings ain't meant to be questioned, my child. Devil paid my rent on Monday morning. Landlord smiled like a baby born. Preacher said, son, that money ain't clean. I said, neither is this room you ain't seen. Devil paid my rent, Lord mercy me. He even fixed the lock and paid month 3 of hell. Got a housing plan working this well. Somebody been lying about the service in hell. Oh! At the door, I grabbed my old broom and crept across the floor. There stood no devil with a pitchfork flame, just a little brown envelope bearing no name. Inside was a note in handwriting thin. Samson, next month don't get behind again. I laughed so hard that the ceiling shook. Even the rat in the cupboard stopped to look. Then the landlord hollered, rent due on the 1st. I said, tell that black-eyed gentleman I'm doing my worst. He said, boy, don't joke with damnation and sin. I said, damnation, the only one helping me win. Who paid the rent? Nobody knows.
Who saved my bed?
Man in dark clothes.
Was it the Lord?
Well, tell the Lord, somebody beating him to the door. Now every Sunday I sit near the back, Bible in my lap, rent receipt in my hat. Preacher talks fire, brimstone and pain. I think about the cold December rain. Maybe the devil ain't charitable yet. Maybe some gambler just settled a debt. Maybe some woman I loved years ago. Maybe some angel keeping mighty low. But when a poor man's belly and pockets both hurt, he don't ask heaven what color the shirt. Good deeds look holy when trouble gets mean, even when the hand that helps ain't clean.
Devil paid my rent
on Monday morning.
Landlord smiled
like a baby born.
Preacher said, son,
that money ain't clean.
I said, neither is this room
you ain't seen. Devil paid my rent 3 months straight. Saved my chair, my stove, and my rusty gate. If heaven gets jealous, tell heaven don't fret. First the next month I'll need somebody yet. Now, Reverend, I ain't saying the devil is good. I'm just saying the devil got there before the sheriff. And around this neighborhood, punctuality counts. Punctuality counts.
I ain't accusing nobody. A man ought to have evidence. And Lord knows this neighborhood already had the verdict before I found the crime. Tuesday morning, 8:15, I found one stocking hanging crooked by the crate. Her dresser drawer had 7, now it only had 6. I said, that's peculiar, but I ain't no detective yet. She came through the kitchen humming real low. Said, baby, why you staring at my clothes? I said, nothing, darling, just counting what's mine. She kissed my cheek and said, you got too much time. Miss Eddie next door nearly fell through a blind. Mr. Lewis swept the same step 14 times. Even little Johnny quit bouncing his ball. Everybody knew something nobody told me at all. She left a stocking in his Cadillac, red as trouble hanging out the back. I said, fine automobile, mighty pretty machine, while half the block was laughing behind the screen. She left a stocking where the whole street could see. Only fool still investigating happened to be me. Chrome shining bright, white walls clean and white, and my woman's stocking taking Sunday drive. Friday evening I walked down Vine, saw Big Henry's Cadillac looking mighty fine. Long black body, chrome shining like sin, and something red was caught where the door shut in. I walked around once, then walked around twice. Said, Henry, that motor sure is looking nice. He swallowed his cigarette, nearly burned his vest. Said, Samson, brother, this car is the best. I said, white wall tires, brother, beautiful rack, but what's that little red flag hanging out the back? He kicked that stocking underneath his shoe, said, probably blew in. I said, when? Been dressing automobiles now too. She left the stocking in his Cadillac, red as trouble hanging out the back. I said, fine automobile, mighty pretty machine, while half the block was laughing behind the screen. She left the stocking where the whole street could see. Only fool still investigating happened to be me. Chrome shining bright, white walls clean and white, and my woman's stocking taking Sunday drive. I went to the barber Saturday noon. Whole shop got quiet when I entered the room. Barber cut one side, forgot the other, then whispered, Samson, you all right, brother? I said, why wouldn't I be? Life treating me grand. Henry even offered me a ride across town if I can. Old Joe in the corner started choking on gin. Another man laughed and tried swallowing his grin. I said, funny thing about Henry's automobile, got velvet seats and perfume on the wheel. Same perfume my woman wears Saturday night. The barber dropped his razor and said, Lord, make it right. Exhibit A, one stocking missing. Exhibit B, one Cadillac. Exhibit C, everybody acting like church mice. Now either my woman been riding with Henry, or that Cadillac got a mighty strange taste in hosiery. Sunday morning, she dressed for prayer, had one bare leg and stood right there. Said, Samson, baby, have you seen my red pair? I said, ask Big Henry, he got one somewhere. She froze so still I could hear the clock. Even the neighbor quit sweeping the block. Then Henry drove past slow as a funeral train. I tipped my hat and admired him again. I said, beautiful Cadillac, brother, shines like new. Fine leather seats, fine motor too. But next time you borrow something belonging to me, try returning the woman along with the hosiery. She left the stocking in his Cadillac, red little witness hanging out the back. I said, fine automobile, mighty pretty machine, but that back seat knew things I where the whole street could see. Everybody solved the case before poor me. Chrome shining, bright white walls, clean and wide. My pride got flattened while that Cadillac glided by. I never touched Henry, never raised my voice. Just told him something every gentleman ought to know. A Cadillac is an expensive automobile, but a clothesline is cheaper.
Mama said don't trust a man with two watches. Mama told me when I was 16, son, watch a man who smiles before he speaks. Then she said, and if that rascal got a watch on both wrists, don't ask him the time. I should have listened. He came down Franklin in a powder blue coat, white shoes shining and a lie in his throat, gold tooth flashing like a downtown sign, two watches ticking, one on either side. I said, brother, why you need two clocks? He said, one for business, one for the cops. So then leaned in close with that salesman grin. One tells the time, other tells when to sin. Mama saw him talking and hollered through the screen, Samson, get away from that walking slot machine. I said, Mama, he's a gentleman, can't you see? She said, a gentleman don't need two times to cheat. Mama said, don't trust a man with two watches. One tells the time and the other one watches. One say 12 while the other say 3. By the time you check both, your money done flee. Mama said, boy, keep hold of your pay, but I followed that fool down the alley anyway. One watch told truth, one watch told lies, and both kept ticking while he robbed me blind. He took me upstairs where the dice rolled hot, said, Samson, tonight we bind the block. I put down $2, he put down 10, except every 10 some I came back to him again. He whispered, 666 coming, I feel it in my bones. I rolled snake eyes and lost my grocery loan. He said, bad luck, partner, don't look blue. I got something better I can sell to you. Pulled out a ring with a diamond so bright, turned my finger green before the end of the night. I said, the stone genuine. He said, sure as I'm alive. Mama looked once and said, that came from Woolworth's aisle 5. Mama said, don't trust a man with two watches. One tells the time and the other one watches. One say 12 while the other say 3. By the time you check both, your money done flee. Mama said, boy, keep hold of your pay, but I followed that fool down the alley anyway. One watch told truth, one watch told lies, and both kept ticking while he robbed me blind. Next came radio stacked in his car, said brand new Philco's, 50 cents less than par. I said, why the serial number scratched away? Said, factory mistake made yesterday. I bought one cheap and carried it home, plugged it in proud, heard somebody moan. Then a policeman knocked before supper was through, said that radio belonged to apartment 2. I pointed down the street, man sold it to me. Cop said, powder blue coat. I said, how'd you see? He laughed and said, son, everybody knows that clown owned a man wearing two watches and neither one paid down. He caught me Friday by the butcher shop, said, Samson, this deal gonna put us on top. Refrigerator nearly new, runs cold as snow. Lady moving north and she needs it to go. I asked, does it work? He slapped my back, said, brother, it'll freeze the devil's welcome mat. I paid him $8, borrowed Henry's truck, dragged that iron monster home through mud and muck. Plugged it in once, whole kitchen went black. Plugged it in twice, smoke came out the back. Opened the door and nearly lost my breath. Somebody had been storing old shoes in it since President Taft. My mama said, don't trust a man with two watches. One tells the time and the other one watches. One say 12 while the other say 3. By the time you check both, your money done flee. Mama said, boy, keep hold of your pay, but I followed that fool down the alley anyway. One watch told truth, one watch told lies, and both kept ticking while he robbed me blind. Saturday morning I found him downtown, same blue coat but his smile turned upside down. I said, my ring is brass, my radio hot, that refrigerator couldn't chill a raindrop. He looked at one wrist and said, 8:45. Looked at the other, brother, you're wasting my time. I said, which watch says when I get my cash? He said, neither, and took off running fast. He hit the corner, coat flying like a flag. Two policemen waiting beside a laundry bag. Mama walked up slowly, never raised a voice. Said, boy, education comes expensive when stupidity makes the choice. Mama said, don't trust a man with two watches, especially when both got somebody else's scratches. One tells the time and the other tells a lie. One says hello while your paycheck says goodbye. Mama said, son, some lessons come dear. I lost $8 to groceries in a year. Now when a slick man asks if I know the time, I grab both my pockets and say, brother, I'm fine. Mama was right again. I kept a refrigerator though, don't cool food, but it makes a fine cupboard. And that green ring, gave it to my landlord. He deserves something nice.
I especially don't like people owing me money when their whole business depends on folks eventually lying still. Back in '53, when times got tight, old Mr. Carter came by one night. Black suit, dusty, hat in his hand. Said, Samson, brother, I need a little stand. I said, how much? He said, 5 will do. I said, you good for it? He said, ain't I always true? Now $5 then was a serious thing that bought meat, coal, and a little something to drink. I counted those bills like sending children away. He folded them neat and said next Saturday. Well, Saturday came, then '54, and Carter still waved from the funeral home door. Undertaker owes me $5, walks past smiling in his clean white collar. Buries half the town but can't bury that dead. I ain't seen my $5 little yet. I ain't rushing you, brother, take your time, but $5 still happen to be mine. Sooner or later, the Lord knows how, one of us gonna be lying down. I caught him Sunday after Johnson died. He said, Samson, this ain't the time. I said, Carter, grief got nothing to do with cash. You've been mourning my $5 for 3 years past. He whispered, have some respect for the dead. I said, I respect them, they paid you instead. He looked offended, straightened his tie, said, money ain't everything. I said, easy for the man charging folks to die. The widow started crying, preacher bowed his head. I said, Carter, don't worry, we'll discuss it when everybody else done left. Undertaker owes me $5, walks past smiling in his clean white collar. Buries half the town but can't bury that dead. I ain't seen my $5 little yet. I ain't rushing you, brother, take your time, but $5 still happened to be mine. Sooner or later, the Lord knows how, one of us gonna be lying down. Next week he bought a brand new hearse, long black beauty with the chrome polished first. I said, Carter, mighty fine machine. He said, business good. I said, that's the problem, I mean. New white walls, curtains velvet and thick. Engine sounded healthy, my stomach sounded sick. I tapped that hood, said must have cost a bit. He said, professional investment. I said, my $5 riding in it. He laughed too hard and walked away fast. Man could outrun debt when somebody asked. Now, I never threatened Mr. Carter. Wouldn't dream of it. That would be improper. I merely reminded him his profession got a very patient collection department. One rainy morning he came for old Joe. Whole block stood quiet while the black car rolled. Carter stepped out, looked solemn and grand. I slipped beside him and held out my hand. He said, Samson, not here. I said, why not here? He said, this is serious. I said, 5 years serious. He said, death should make a man think about grace. I said, death should make a man think about my face. He sighed and said, you got a terrible mind. I said, no brother, just excellent memory in difficult times. Undertaker owes me $5. Walks past smiling in his clean white collar. Buries half the town but can't bury that debt. I ain't seen my $5 little yet. I ain't rushing you, brother, take your time. But $5 still happen to be mine. Sooner or later, the Lord knows how, one of us gonna be lying down. Then one night Carter knocked at my place. No funeral hat, no business face. Put $5 worn down on my chair. Said, there, Samson, now we finally square. I counted each one and held them to light. Said, brother, these bills look colder than the night. He said, you happy now? I said, happy enough. He said, after all these years, that's all the fuss. I said, Carter, poor men remember every dime. Rich men call it small, cause they got plenty of time. Then I bought him coffee with one of $5. He said, you're buying? I said, long as we both alive. Undertaker paid me $5. Finally loosened that clean white collar. 5 long years and 100 reminders. Debt got longer while we got older. I ain't rushing nobody, life moves slow. But every man pays something before he goes. Sooner or later, the Lord knows how. Every account gets settled somehow. Carter asked me, Samson, what would you have done if I died before paying? I said, nothing disrespectful. He said, good. I said, I'd just have taken $5 off the funeral bill. He didn't laugh. Undertaker's got a strange sense of humor. Back in '53 when times got tight, old Mr. Carter came by one night. Black suit, dusty, hat in his hand. Said, Every Friday that man come collecting rent, looking cleaner than Sunday morning. Meanwhile, the roof got so many holes I can tell the weather without opening the door. on Tuesday landed in my plate. I moved my chair twice, still couldn't escape. Put a cooking pot where the ceiling gave way. By Wednesday morning I had indoor rain. Miss Ruby downstairs got no heat at night. Wrapped 3 blankets round her just to sleep right. Little Willie said, "Mama, why the walls so wet?" She said, "Baby, that's the only water we can get." Then Friday came with that familiar knock. Landlord standing there at 6 o'clock. New gray suit and a silk necktie, while my wallpaper floated by. Roof got holes, but his shoes got shine. Water cut off, but his watch keeps time. We count pennies while he counts rent. Every dollar leaves and nobody knows where it went. Floorboards bend, but his trousers stay pressed. We sleep cold while he's dressed his best. Every Friday when that rent comes due, the building gets older and the landlord gets new. Old man Carter got a rat named Fred. Fred eats better than the folks upstairs in bed. Big enough now to pay half the rent. Only thing in the building, living content. I told the landlord, "Sir, we got mice in the hall." He said, "Keep your place clean, won't be none at all." Right then a rat walked past his shoe, stopped, looked up like, "You collected mine too." Landlord stepped back, nearly lost his hat. Said, "Good Lord, Samson, look at the size of that." I said, "Don't worry, sir, he ain't dangerous yet. But Friday coming, he may owe you rent." Roof got holes, but his shoes got shine. Water cut off, but his watch keeps time. We count pennies while he counts rent. Every dollar leaves and nobody knows where it went. Floorboards bend, but his trousers stay pressed. We sleep cold while he's dressed his best. Every Friday when that rent comes due, the building gets older and the landlord gets new. Yeah. Next Friday morning he wore navy blue, matching fedora and alligator shoes. Miss Pearl said, "Sir, my stove won't light." He said, "Maybe don't cook so much at night." Mr. Johnson said, "My window won't close." Landlord looked down and brushed lint from his clothes. I said, "Sir, the furnace ain't worked since June." He said, "Cold weather only lasts till June." I looked at his coat, thick wool, brand new. Said, "Must be mighty warm being landlord to you." He smiled and said, "Business takes sacrifice." We all looked around like, who sacrificed? Who bought that suit? We did.
Who bought that hat?
We did. Who bought them shoes?
We did.
Then while we freezing, ask that man in blue. Rent went up by $2 in May. He said, "Maintenance costs more nowadays." Funny thing, maintenance never came through. But Saturday morning, his Buick looked new. Chrome on the bumper, white walls wide, radio singing while he took a ride. Miss Ruby watched from a broken pane, holding a bucket, catching bathroom rain. She said, "Samson, ain't that something to see?" I said, "Yes, ma'am, that's our plumbing on 4 wheels to me." Every time that engine started to roar, somebody's missing floorboard paid a little more. Roof got holes, but his shoes got shine. Water cut off, but his watch keeps time. We count pennies while he counts rent. Every dollar leaves and nobody knows where it went. Floorboards bend, Every Friday when that rent comes due, the building gets older and the landlord gets new. By December, frost was sleeping indoors, ice on the window and wine through the floors. Children wore coats, eating breakfast in bed. Even Fred the rat found somewhere warmer instead. Landlord came Christmas in a camel hair coat, gold chain shining underneath his throat. Said, "Season's greetings, hope you're doing fine." I said, "We doing so fine, our breath gotta shine." He handed us cards with his name stamped gold, and no furnace repair, just happy holidays bold. I said, "Sir, that card won't keep nobody warm." He said, "It's the thought." I said, "That's the problem all along. Roof got holes, but his shoes got shine. Water cut off, but his watch keeps time. Children go hungry while his table stays set. He calls it business, we call it debt. Walls lean sideways, his collar stands straight. He eats steak while we argue with fate. Every Friday when that rent comes due, poor folks pay for somebody else's view. Last Friday, he came wearing another new suit. I asked him where he bought it. He smiled and said, "Samson, a gentleman don't discuss money." I said, "No, sir, but apparently he collects it." I knew something was wrong the minute I smelled chicken. Because for 3 nights straight, that woman had been feeding me beans. Beans Monday, beans Tuesday, beans Wednesday, Thursday. I smelled betrayal frying in grease. I came down Jefferson tired from the day, shoes full of dust and no money to play. Turned down my street and I smelled something fine, fried chicken traveling clean across the county line. Greens on the stove, cornbread sweet. I started thanking heaven before I crossed the street. Opened that door with my appetite strong, saw candles burning and knew something was wrong. Table had flowers, 2 glasses of wine, good china sitting where the cracked plates used to lie. I said, "Baby, Lord have mercy, what happened tonight?" She said, "Samson, you home early, that ruined my appetite. You cooked dinner for somebody else, put your sweetest love up on the shelf. I've been living on beans for 3 lonely nights, while another man got chicken by candlelight. Oh, baby, I could forgive the kiss, maybe even forgive who started all this. But you season that chicken the way I like it best, and cook my supper for somebody else. I looked at that bird sitting golden and proud, could hear my own stomach complaining out loud. Mashed potatoes smooth, gravy running brown, cornbread so soft it could settle a town. I said, "Who's coming?" She fixed her hair, said, "Just a friend." I said, "Friends eating mighty well round here." Then somebody knocked 3 gentle times. She smiled a smile I thought was mine. In walked Harold with his hat in his hand, perfume-polished shoes, looking like a prosperous man. He said, "Evening, Samson." I said, "Evening, thief." He said, "Excuse me?" I said, "You standing between me and relief. You cooked dinner for somebody else, put your sweetest love up on a shelf. I've been living on beans for 3 lonely nights, while another man got chicken by candlelight. Oh, baby, I could forgive the kiss,
Maybe even forgive who started all this. But you season that chicken the way I like it best, and cook my supper for somebody else. Harold sat down in my favorite chair, crossed both legs like he belonged there. She brought him chicken, gave him the breast. I nearly fainted when she gave him the best. 3 nights straight I had beans from a can. No onion, no bacon, barely felt like a man. I said, baby, where was this cooking Monday night? She said, you never complained. I said, because hunger makes a man polite. Harold reached for another piece with grace. I watched that drumstick disappear from my face. Then he asked, Samson, you want some too? I said, mister, keep chewing, and we both may make the news. Now I did not hit Harold, I am proud of that I did, however. Sit directly across from him and count every piece of chicken. He ate 2 thighs, 1 wing, half the cornbread. That man was not just stealing my woman, he was clearing the evidence. She said, Samson, don't make a scene. I said, woman, I'm calm as canned beans. She said, Harold understands me better than you. I said, apparently he understands gravy too. Harold wiped his mouth and reached for the greens. I said, brother, you brave beyond belief. He said, Samson, love goes where love feels right. I said, love better leave before dessert tonight. He stood up slow, buttoned his coat, tried to look dignified with gravy on his throat, then walked toward the door with half my pie. I said, take the woman if you must, but put that plate down, guy. You cook dinner for somebody else, put your sweetest love up on the shelf. I've been living on beans for 3 lonely nights, while another man got chicken by candlelight. Oh, baby, I could forgive the kiss, maybe even forgive who started all this. But you seasoned that chicken the way I like it best, and cooked my supper for somebody else. Next morning she packed 1 little case, wouldn't look me squarely in the face. Said, Samson, maybe we've grown apart. I said, maybe, but that chicken broke my heart. She left with Harold before 10:30. I opened the cupboard and found beans again. Sat by the window with 1 cold spoon, watched his Cadillac disappear around noon. Funny how heartbreak makes everything clear. Love can leave quietly, hunger stays near. I ate those beans and laughed to myself. Next woman I love better know how to share the shelf. Table had flowers, 2 glasses of wine, good china sitting where the cracked plates used to lie. I said, baby, Lord have mercy, what happened tonight? She said, Samson, you home early, that ruined my appetite. You cook dinner for somebody else, put your sweetest love up on the shelf. I've been living on beans for 3 lonely nights, while another man got chicken by candlelight. Oh baby, I could forgive the kiss, maybe even forgive who started all this. But you seasoned the
Been to more places than I have. Court twice, church every Easter, 3 weddings, 6 funerals, and 1 job interview that never called me back. Bought that suit secondhand for $3 flat. Sleeves too long and a shine on the back. Left knee patch where somebody had prayed. Right pocket holding what the last man never paid. Mama said, son, that suit got history. I said, Mama, so do I, and mine costs less than $3. Wore it to church with my shoes brushed clean. Wore it to court when the judge looked mean. Wore it downtown asking work from a man. He said, we'll call you. I said, I understand. That suit came home with me same as before. Still unemployed, but dressed like I own the store. $3 in a funeral suit, one black jacket and one worn boot. Wedding by evening, burial at noon. Same old trousers, different tune. People ask Samson, why you dressed the same? I say sorrow and love got a similar name. Same suit, different crying. Some folks marrying, some folks dying. Thursday morning, old Charlie passed. Good man, poor man, worked till the last. I buttoned that coat and borrowed a tie. Stood by the grave while his widow cried. Preacher said, ashes return unto dust. I checked my cuff where the stitching had bust. Pallbearer whispered, Samson, you doing all right? I said, brother, I got somewhere to be tonight. 6 o'clock, I was across the town. Same black jacket, but the collar turned down. Band started playing and the bride came through. One woman said, didn't I see that suit at the cemetery too? $3 in a funeral suit, one black jacket and one worn boot. Wedding by evening, burial at noon. Same old trousers, different tune. People ask Samson, why you dressed the same? I say sorrow and love got a similar name. Same suit, different crying. Some folks marrying, some folks dying. At the wedding table, I got chicken and rice. Funeral had sandwiches, wedding had spice. I said life sure changes between noon and 8. Same man hungry, just a different plate. Groom shook my hand, said, Samson, looking sharp. I said, thank you, brother, this suit works hard. Bride's aunt stared like she knew my face. Said, weren't you standing by Charlie's grave? I said, yes, ma'am, and I ain't changed yet. She said, why not? I said, laundry costs money I ain't got to spend. She laughed so hard she dropped her wine. I said, $3 suit still working overtime. Sorry for your loss. Congratulations. Same shoes, same shirt,
Same man.
only difference is whether they serving cake or passing tissues. Friday came and the courthouse called. Some misunderstanding involving a wall. Judge looked over his glasses at me, said, Mr. Reed, you dress respectfully. I said, Your Honor, this suit got standards high. Had been before God and seen one man die. He said, have you worn that outfit here before? I said, yes, sir, twice. It remembers the door. Clerk started coughing to hide his grin. Judge said, Samson, don't let me see you again. I said, sir, with all due respect, this suit got more appointments than I expect. $3 in a funeral suit, one black jacket and one worn boot. Court on Monday, church by June. Job interview in the afternoon. People ask Samson, why you dress the same? I said, poor men don't keep closets for every kind of pain. Same suit,
different crying. Some folks promising, some folks lying. Yeah, years rolled on and that black turned gray. Buttons got loose, but it stayed anyway. War when mama finally went home, stood by her casket, feeling all alone. Nobody laughed and I had no joke, just held that sleeve where the old seam broke. Then I remembered mama on the day I bought it, saying, son, take care of anything somebody worked for. $3 never sounded like much till that worn out coat became all I could touch. Funny how poor men hold memories tight, in clothes too old and pockets too light. $3 and a funeral suit, still got dust on the heel of my boot. Seen folks marry, seen folks leave, seen men celebrating mothers grieve. People ask, Samson, why keep that thing? I said, it carried me through every winter and spring. Same suit, different crying. That's about all life is, if you keep surviving. Man asked me once, Samson, ain't you ashamed wearing the same suit everywhere? I said, mister, shame costs more than $3. Besides, the suit already knows the way.
There comes a time every night
Besides,
when the laughing gets tired. The last record spins, the bartender looks at the clock, and everybody remembers why they came in here in the first place. Quarter to 2 and the room getting thin, smoke hanging low where the ceiling begins. One last couple turning slow by the wall, bartender stacking empty glasses tall. Old Joe laughing like the rent ain't due, Miss Clara dancing in her worn-out shoes. Samson at the bar with a nickel left to spend, trying to make one more song outlast the end. Jukebox glowing red in a tight blue room, saxophone crying like it already knew. Outside waiting, morning cold and plain. Inside for 3 minutes, nobody felt the pain. When the jukebox stops at 2, street light still burns blue. Everybody laugh while the music played, then carried their troubles home. When the last slow record dies, you can see it in their eyes. Music held us up for a little while, then left us walking home alone. Bartender turned the chairs upside down, swept broken glass from the edge of town. Woman by the payphone held the receiver tight, whispered, please come get me into the night. Nobody asked who she called or why, nobody stared when she started to cry. She wiped her face when the door swung wide, fixed her lipstick and stepped outside. Samson watched but didn't make a joke. Some kind of sorrow don't belong in smoke. Some kind of hurt makes even funny men still like a room after music when the silence gets real. When the jukebox stops at 2, street light still burns blue. Everybody laughed while the music played, then carried their troubles home. When the last slow record dies, you can see it in their eyes. Music held us up for a little while, then left us walking home alone. Old man Carter counted coins in his palm, 4 little nickels and 1 bus token gone. He danced all evening with nobody there, just swayed by himself beside an empty chair. Samson said, you heading home, old man? Carter said, soon as my legs understand. Then smiled one time, soft and thin, said, music makes these bones forget where they've been.
He buttoned his coat and stepped through the door, back bent lower than it had before. Jukebox clicked once, then the whole room sighed like somebody had turned the night inside. All week long, people came in here carrying things. Bad marriages, empty pockets, dead-end jobs, letters they didn't want to open, names they didn't want to remember. The jukebox never solved any of it, but for a little while, it gave sorrow somewhere to sit. The woman in red left alone at last. The gambler quit smiling when the mirror called him back. A tired young waiter folded up his pay, already knew most of it was gone by day. The band packed horns and battered old cases. No applause left, just tired faces. One singer hummed while whining the chord, like he didn't want silence to have the final word. Samson looked around at that empty floor, at the stains, the ash, the locked back door. Every joke he told seemed smaller somehow. Good for the night, but no good now. When the jukebox stops at 2, street lights still burns blue. Everybody laughed while the music played, then carried their troubles home. When the last slow record dies, you can see it in their eyes. Music held us up for a little while, then left us walking home alone. Samson stepped outside just after 2. Cold wind cut through that old black suit. Saw Miss Clara walking toward the bus. Saw Joe turn down the street with no one to trust. Saw the payphone woman standing by the light, still waiting on somebody who might not come tonight. Saw Carter counting those coins again, like counting could somehow make them 10. Then Samson understood what the jukebox did. It never made poor men rich or lonely hearts forget. It just gave every broken soul a place to stay, till the night got weak and the music faded away. Jukebox stopped at 2. Street lights still burned blue. Everybody laughed while the music played, then carried their troubles home. The floor went still, the laughter died. Morning waited on the other side. Music never fixed a single life, it only helped us make it through the night. Jukebox stopped at 2. Street lights still burn blue. Street lights still burn blue. Everybody laughed while the music played, then carried their troubles home. Some went back to empty rooms, some went back to unpaid dues, some went back to someone they loved, some had nobody waiting at home. Bartender asked me, "Samson, he coming back tomorrow?" I looked at that quiet jukebox and said, "If tomorrow needs music, then I put on my hat and walked home."
Every church got somebody who knows the scripture. Sister Lucy knows the scripture. And everybody mentioned between Genesis and Saturday night. I asked Sister Lucy, "Woman, is there anything in this neighborhood you don't know?" She thought a minute. Said, "Yes, Samson." "What?" "How you keep finding women willing to believe you." I left church early that Sunday. Sister Lucy sits 3 pews from the front, big black Bible and a Sunday hat up. Sings Amazing Grace like judgment came, then whispers 3 divorces before saying amen. She knows who drinks behind Johnson's store, who who slipped through Miss Clara's kitchen door, who owes Mr. Brown $12 and change, and why Brother Willie's youngest boy looks strange. Preacher says, Lucy, keep your eyes on the Lord. She says, I do, Reverend, but these folks keep getting in the way. By the time church ends and the choir gets through, Lucy knows what happened, why, where, and who.
Sister Lucy knows
Everybody's business,
who been faithful
and who needs forgiveness.
Bible in one hand,
Secrets in the other. She knows your wife, your landlord, and your brother. You can hide
your bottle.
hide your debts
Sister Lucy probably saw it
before you did it yet.
whole town.
Praying she don't call their name, 'cause Lucy knows the smoke before she sees the flame. She told Miss Sandy, your husband came home late, and he said, Lucy, how you know the date? Lucy said, Tuesday, 10:15. Blue necktie, crooked, smelling like gin. Told Deacon Jones, better change that route. Your automobile been stopping where it shouldn't pull out. He said, sister, you spreading wicked lies. She said, then tell wickedness, quit parking beneath my eyes. Oh, Mr. Green tried hiding his wine, poured it in a medicine bottle marked turpentine. Lucy took one look and said, brother, that cure mighty strong. You've been healing yourself since Thursday too long.
Sister Lucy knows
Everybody's business,
who been faithful
and who needs forgiveness.
Bible in one hand,
Secrets in the other. She knows your wife, your landlord, and your brother. You can
hide your bottle.
hide your debts
Sister Lucy probably saw it
before you did it yet.
whole town praying.
She don't call their name, 'cause Lucy knows the smoke before she sees the flame. Then one Sunday Lucy looked straight at me, smiled too sweet and said, brother Samson, come see. Now when Lucy says brother in that particular tone, a wise man remembers every sin he's ever known. She said, how's that woman from Memphis doing these days? I said, what woman? She said, the one wore purple suede. I nearly dropped my hymn book onto my shoe. That woman left town in 1952. Lucy said, and that 20 you borrowed from Ray? I said, 20? She said, interest makes 30 today. I said, Sister Lucy, I forgot that whole affair. She said, that's why the Lord put people like me here. She remembered the night I lost Mama's ring, that little backroom car game behind King's. Remembered the chair I broke at Joe's Cafe. Remembered one woman whose name I still won't say. She said, Samson, remember Easter '54? I said, no ma'am. She said, you slept outside your own front door. I said, was I drinking? She said, son, the flowers were drunk from smelling your coat. Then she pulled out a fan and cleared her throat. I said, how do you remember every mistake I made? She said, some people collect stamps, I collect what folks misplace. Oh,
Sister Lucy knows
everybody's business,
who been faithful
and who needs forgiveness.
Bible in one hand,
Secrets in the other. She knows your wife, your landlord, and your brother. You can change your story, change your name. Lucy got yesterday written down the same.
whole town praying.
She don't call their name, 'cause Lucy knows the smoke before she sees the flame. Then one evening poor Lucy finally got caught walking home carrying groceries she bought. A little envelope slipped from her Bible and fell. I picked it up quick, but I could already tell. Inside were notes and handwriting small, names, dates, debts, and trouble from us all. At the bottom one sentence underlined in red, remember these people when they need bread. No scandal there, no wicked little scheme, just every hard luck soul that crossed Lucy's street. Turns out all those secrets she carried around, helping know who needed help without making a sound. Sister Lucy knows everybody's business, every little sorrow hiding under Sunday cleanliness.
Bible in one hand,
Mercy in the other. She knows when to gossip and when to feed a brother. She knows who drinks, cheats, borrows, and cries. Knows what Sunday smile got trouble behind the eyes. We all feared Lucy might call our name, but half the time she was keeping us from greater shame. I asked Sister Lucy, woman, is there anything in this neighborhood you don't know?
I thought love meant sacrifice. Nobody told me sacrifice was supposed to stop before you sell the furniture. She came down Jefferson in a red satin dress, hairpin high, looking like Sunday best. Every man on the corner straightened his tie. I nearly walked into a lamppost watching her pass by. She said, Samson, you ain't doing too bad. That little sentence took every cent I had. Next morning I pawned my Philco radio clean. Said, who needs music when she looks like a dream? Pawn man laughed, gave me 7 and 4. I thanked him kindly and went back for more. Love made me foolish before breakfast was through. By supper I was shopping like rich men do. Sold my mattress, bought that diamond thing. Now she's sleeping good and I ain't got a spring. Pawned my radio, borrowed what I could. Bought her something shiny, thought that made me good. Sold my mattress, gave that woman a ring. Now I sleep on the floor listening to pipes sing. Love got expensive, pride got mean, and she left with a man who owned a bedroom suite. First went the radio, next went my coat. Then I borrowed 10 from my cousin Joe. Joe said, Samson, what you buying this time? I said, something that'll make that woman mine. He said, brother, love don't come with a receipt. I said, maybe yours don't mind, got a Judah on the street. Then I sold my bed to old Mr. Green. Best mattress in the room, box spring clean. He said, where you sleeping? I said, love will keep me warm. He said, love better bring a blanket before the storm. I laughed real loud like a confident man, then spent that night on a rug with a frying pan. Sold my mattress, bought that diamond thing. Now she's sleeping good and I ain't got a spring. Pawned my radio, borrowed what I could. Bought her something shiny, thought that made me good. Sold my mattress, gave that woman a ring. Now I sleep on the floor listening to pipes sing. Love got expensive, pride got mean, and she left with a man who owned a bedroom suite. Saturday evening, I gave her that stone. Tiny little sparkle, but I called it my own. She held it up under the street lamp light, said, Samson, baby, this surely is bright. I said, woman, I gave up half my home. She smiled and kissed me, said, you're not alone. For 3 whole days I walked 10 feet tall. Never mind, I had no chair, no bed, no wall clock at all. Then Thursday came with a long black car. Man stepped out wearing cufflinks like stars. He opened the door and tipped his hat. She climbed right in carrying my diamond at that. I said, baby, where you going? Where you going? She said, with Harold. I said, what? What Harold got that I ain't got?
She looked me dead in the eye and said, "A sofa." Harold had curtains, a dresser and chairs, a dining room table and matching stairs. Man had a lamp on both sides of his bed. I had one pillow and a newspaper instead. She said, "Samson, darling, you got plenty heart." I said, "Apparently furniture's the missing part." She moved out Friday before 9:30. Took a red dress and that ring of mine. I stood in my room where the bed used to be. Echo sounded richer than the life around me. Old Mr. Green passed by and said, "You all right?" I said, "Yes, sir, got plenty floor tonight." Sold my mattress, bought that diamond thing. Now she's sleeping good and I ain't got a spring. Pawned my radio, borrowed what I could. Bought her something shiny, thought that made me good. Sold my mattress, gave that woman a ring. Now I sleep on the floor listening to pipes sing. Love got expensive, pride got mean, and she left with a man who owned a bedroom suite. A month went by and I learned one thing: never trade comfort for a little gold ring. Pawn man sold my radio 2 towns away. Joe still asks for his money every Saturday. Mr. Green sleeps fine on my old bed. Harold got the woman and the furniture instead. But I bought one chair from a church rummage sale. One crooked leg, but it holds me well. Now when a pretty woman says, "Prove your love to me," I point to that chair and say, "Lady, sit comfortably. Love can have flowers, supper and song,
Now before anybody starts spreading
but my
stories,
mattress stays where it belongs."
Officer Brown and me are not friends. He just knows my name, my address, my favorite drink, and which alley I run through. That don't make us friends. Friday night I was minding my feet, walking real innocent down Franklin Street. Heard dice hit concrete behind Johnson's place. I only turned around to admire the case. Somebody yelled 7, somebody yelled run. I said, "Gentlemen, why spoil all this fun?" Then that blue light hit the alley wall. Half the men disappeared like they heard judgment call. I stood there calm with my hands by my side till Officer Brown said, "Samson, don't even try." I said, "Officer, how you know it's me?" He said, "Nobody else runs crooked and polished shoes at 3. The policeman knows my first name, and I swear that ain't a mark of fame. Knows where I live, knows what I drink, knows which alley I use before I even think. Every time trouble comes walking my way, Officer Brown says, "Samson, not today." I say, "Sir, you got the wrong man again." He says, "Maybe so, but I know where you've been." Standing outside, nothing more. Club stayed open 2 hours too late, but I was only discussing matters of fate. Music stopped, back window flew. 3 men jumped in a car table 2. Officer Brown walked round the bend, said, "Good evening, Samson, we meet again." I said, "Sir, coincidence is a terrible thing." He said, "So is that whiskey bottle underneath your wing." I said, "That ain't mine, I was holding it still." He said, "Funny, it got your lips printed round the seal." The policeman knows my first name, and I swear that ain't a mark of fame. Knows where I live, knows what I drink, knows which alley I use before I even think. Every time trouble comes walking my way, Officer Brown says, "Samson, not today." I say, "Sir, you got the wrong man again." He says, "Maybe so, but I know where you've been." I put on my tie, walked to church looking sanctified. Officer Brown passed slow in his car, tipped his cap like we traveled far. Sister Lucy looked sideways at me, said, Samson, police waving socially. I said, Lucy, everybody respects a church-going man. Brown leaned from the window and shouted, your hat's still behind the gambling stand. Whole congregation turned round slow. Preacher stopped preaching about where sinners go. I said, Reverend, there's an explanation for that. He said, son, explain it after you retrieve your hat. Samson, I'm innocent. Again? Never touched them dice. Again? Never drank that gin. Again? I found your name written inside the bottle. Tuesday evening, somebody broke a light. Wednesday morning, somebody started a fight. Thursday, somebody's rooster disappeared. By Friday, Brown was already near. I said, officer, why you looking at me? He said, Samson, experience saves energy. I said, that rooster business ain't my style. He said, then why feathers sticking from your coat all the while? I looked at my shoulder, brushed two away, said, birds been friendly with me today. Brown shook his head, wrote something down. I said, you arresting me? He said, no, just documenting the clown. Policeman knows my first name, and I swear that ain't a mark of fame. Knows where I live, knows what I drink, knows which alley I use before I even think. Every time trouble comes walking my way, Officer Brown says, Samson, not today. I say, sir, you got the wrong man again. He says, maybe so, but I know where you've been. One night I finally stayed home straight, door locked tight before 8:30. Made coffee, read the evening news. No dice, no club, no borrowed booze. At 10 came knocking, 3 knocked strong. I opened the door and there stood Brown. I said, see, officer, tonight I'm clean. He looked around like he'd never seen such a scene. Said, Samson, I came because something feels wrong. I said, to what? He said, you've been home 3 hours, 3 longs. Then low shook his head, wrote something down. I said, you arresting me? He said, no, just documenting the clown. The policeman knows my first name. That still don't mean I'm guilty of a thing. Knows my dress, knows my shoes, knows every excuse before I get to choose. When sirens sound, he looks my way. Even when I behaved all day, I say, Officer Brown, someday you'll believe this man. He says, Samson, someday you'll give me the chance. Officer Brown retired in '59 at his retirement party. They asked him which case gave him the most trouble. He pointed straight at me. I said, case? Man never convicted me of anything. Well, nothing we need to discuss tonight. Well, nothing we need to discuss tonight.
No, sir. I just got questions. A whole lot of questions. Starting with this one. Deacon, why your Bible smell like perfume? Deacon Jones stands tall in the Sunday light, black suit pressed and his collar sitting right. Points one finger when the sermon gets hot, says, temptation is a dangerous lot. He tells young men, keep your footsteps clean. Tells young women, guard what heaven has seen. Then after service, when the church bell's in, the deacon starts walking where single ladies live. I saw him Monday by Miss Clara's there, Tuesday night outside Miss Ruby's chair, Wednesday morning coming out too soon. Deacon, why your Bible smell like perfume? Deacon Jones got a backdoor key. Maybe 2, maybe 23. Preaches all day about what sinners do, then disappears when the evening comes through. I ain't saying nothing, I'm just confused. Deacon, why your Bible smell like perfume? You preach against fire, preach against sin, but somebody keeps letting that holy man in. He told Brother Willie, don't chase no skirt. Said flesh is weak and desire will hurt. Willie bowed down and said,
Yes, Deacon, true.
while a little brass key fell out of Jones's shoe. I picked it up, said, Deacon, what door this fit? He coughed real hard, then swallowed a bit. Said, church property, Samson, don't touch that thing. I said, funny, church don't live on Maple Street, wing by wing. Miss Annie passed and covered her grin. Sister Lucy said, Lord, forgive us again. Jones wiped his brow, said, mind your own room. I said, Deacon,
while your Bible smell like perfume. Deacon Jones got a backdoor key.
Maybe 2,
Maybe 23.
preaches all day about what sinners do, then disappears when the evening comes through. I ain't saying nothing, I'm just confused.
Deacon, why your Bible smell like perfume?
You preach against fire, you preach against sin, but somebody keeps letting that holy man in. Friday night I saw his Buick parked, engine cold and the street gone dark, right behind a building on Jefferson Lane where Miss Pearl lives all by her name. Next morning Deacon came to prayer, one cuff button missing and a rose in his hair. Preacher said, Jones, you had a difficult night. He said, spiritual warfare, Reverend, quite a fight. I said, must have been rough. Your tie turned around and somebody's lipstick still blessing your collar down. He stared at me hard like judgment was due. I smiled and said, Deacon, Bible smell like perfume too. Where you been?
Where you been?
What door?
Number 3.
What happened?
Nobody knows.
Then why you leaving church with somebody else's rose? Sunday evening, Jones preaching loud and long, said every secret sin will meet the dawn. I said,
Amen.
louder than the rest, he looked my way and nearly lost his text. Said, some men smile while their souls run wild. Said, some men carry spare keys, my child. Whole congregation started coughing at once. Even the organ player missed 2 notes in front. Then Sister Lucy leaned across the pew, whispered, Samson, don't say what I think you'll do. I stood up slow and asked in the room,
Deacon, why your Bible smell like perfume? Deacon Jones got a backdoor key.
whole neighborhood got eyes to see.
Preaches all day about temptation's flame, then spends all night forgetting his name.
We all got trouble, we all got wounds, but
Don't preach thunder with perfume in the room.
If you're gonna tell poor sinners what not to do,
at least leave your extra keys inside the pew. Deacon Jones stopped preaching about temptation after that. Started preaching forgiveness. Funny thing, attendance went up, and the perfume still there.